All right. Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Dusty Davidson. I'm the owner and manager of Showtime Travel Agency, a Dream Vacations franchise located in Dallas, locally owned and operated. Thanks for being here tonight. We appreciate it. We know times are busy and lots of things going on, so we appreciate your time tonight. Tonight, we're continuing on with our series, Travel Tuesday with. It's the third of 7 Tuesdays. And again, we're on live on Facebook tonight. Tonight we have a tour company that's been around a long time and is one of the leaders in land tours in Ireland, Scotland, England, and Wales. And you're going to be so excited to hear the stuff and so inspired that you're going to want to travel right away. But before we get to the presentation, here's all the old nuts and bolts stuff, all the boring stuff. So we've got everybody on mute and no video so that everybody can focus on the presentation so that there's no distractions. Feel free to use the chat box to say hello to people if you want to, and certainly for to ask questions, and we will get to those at the end of the presentation. There is not a handout tonight, but we will be following up with an email with a link to the video, so you don't have to take notes or anything. You just sit back and relax. But watch for the email tomorrow. And then we also will have it posted on our YouTube channel, Showtime Travel Agency. So make sure you get all those in there. On the YouTube channel, we've got lots of other videos, so feel free to browse around there. Subscribe to us. We appreciate that. And of course, we'd like for you to subscribe or to like us on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Showtime Travel Agency, and you'll get all the information that you need there. And you can also see about all the other upcoming events with Virgin Voyages and Rocky Mountaineer and Royal Caribbean coming up. So just in time for St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, we have CIE Tours, and my good buddy Dan Dorn is here with us. Hey, Dan.
Yeah, hi, Dusty. Appreciate being here. Thanks for the time.
Well, we appreciate you being here, and then 2 hours behind us. So
No, that's okay. I don't mind at all. It's just, you have me inspired with that introduction with everybody. I'm ready to travel too. I think we're all going a little, have cabin fever, a little stir crazy. So before you opened it up for everybody, you and I were talking about, we're just antsy to get back at it. So
yeah, I've got my background tonight, my virtual background tonight, I was telling Dan, is from a trip that we took to Ireland, I guess 7 or 8 years ago, to Kinsale. And it's right on the coast, and this is the bay area there. And it was just one of the most relaxing and most amazing vacations that we've ever had. So that's one interest that I have in the tours that we're going to be looking at tonight in the company, because they focus on Ireland a lot, and they've got some fantastic stuff. So it's going to be lots of good information.
Okay.
So, well, I'm going to go away and let you have it.
Oh, well, thank you, Dusty. Again, thank you everybody for joining us this evening. And since I'm over in Phoenix, so as Dusty pointed out, I'm a couple hours behind you. But again, I do appreciate the opportunity to share some time with you. As Dusty pointed out, we've been around for quite a while. CIE Tours, we are an Irish-owned company. And to be honest, we're technically part of the Irish government. So, we do have a storied history with Irish roots. As you can see, these are some old posters, brochure covers back in the day. And so like with Tour Connemara with CIE, we have been around since 1932. And the one question that we get often is, well, what does CIE stand for? And as you will notice at the bottom of the slide, CIE, and it's actually an Irish Gaelic acronym, and it's pronounced Chorus Umpar Éireann. And what that translates to is Irish Transport System. When I mentioned that we are part of the Irish government, the Minister of Transportation oversees CIE because we are the tour division. There is also the bus division, as well as the rail system on the island of Ireland. So, and with St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, I wanted to have a little lively St. Patrick's Day theme here with folks from past St. Paddy's Day parades in Dublin. But again, as I mentioned, we've been around since 1932. We are the #1 destination specialist to Ireland and Britain. So if you do have an inkling or an interest in traveling to Ireland or Scotland, England, or Wales, please keep us in mind because we know what we're doing, again, being Irish owned. Now, the one big selling tool that I always remind my travel agent partners with is what we have called a no optional extra policy. And this is on our guided vacations. And as you'll notice on the left side, we call it the all-in inclusive advantage. And what this means is when you are on one of our guided vacations, our tour guides and directors, we're not trying to nickel and dime you during the course of the tour with these little optional side trips. Like for instance, oh folks, if you want a great time tonight at Taylor's Three Rock Pub, you'll get a great dinner and a performance. It's only $50 a person. We do not do that. Everything is included with the tour price. And on average, couples will spend $80 per day on these optional excursions. So if, as an example, if you're doing a 10-day tour, you take that $80 per day, that's $800 that you're spending on top of the tour price that you had already purchased. But again, we will not charge you. So that's $800 in savings that you have when traveling with CIE Tours. Another nice benefit is all of our guides and drivers are local. So if you happen to be doing an Ireland itinerary, you're going to have a gentleman from Ireland. If you're in Scotland, you're going to have someone from Scotland. So I really feel that enhances the experience while you're traveling to their country, because it really, it's like a cruise director on a cruise ship. They can make or break your experience, but they're more than happy to tell you about their home country and very proud of it. Over the years, we've had over 3 million happy travelers. And as you can see, our guest satisfaction rating is in the 95 percentile. And these are based on the post-trip survey. So, we're doing a very good job in satisfying our guests when they travel with us. Now, as Dusty and I have both pointed out, since 1932, this is our bread and butter. Being Irish owned again, our heart is Ireland, but we also do the countries of Britain. We have Scotland, England, and Wales. And then a couple of years ago, we decided to branch out because a lot of our past guests, they like what we do as a company, and they were antsy to see what more countries we could offer so that they could travel with us. And so a couple of years ago, we decided to add two highly popular destinations, and that is Iceland as well as Italy. And again, that was a couple of years ago. So as you can see with this, the number of tours that we offer, again, Ireland being the heart, we have 17 Ireland-only itineraries, as you can see. Scotland has become more and more popular over the past handful of years, and so we have 4 dedicated tours for Scotland. And then we start getting into what we call combination tours. And so the most popular of a combination tour is people wanting to do both Scotland and Ireland. We have 3 for Britain. We have Britain and Ireland. So as you go down the list there, we have a total of 34 itineraries. And our next closest competitor, we more than double of what they offer. So we really are in depth with what we offer as a brand. Here's a beautiful photo, and I'm very visual with my PowerPoint, so I hope you like these. I'll just take you around. It's a beautiful destination, and this is Giant's Causeway, and this is an area in Northern Ireland where you see these hexagon-shaped basalt rock tubes, and these were formed roughly 60 million years ago. And some of them are very short, you can walk on them, and in the distance, you can see some of them, they can reach as high as 30 feet. But it's a UNESCO heritage site, and it's called Giant's Causeway because when you do look at a map of the island of Ireland, and then you look at Scotland, again, this is on the northern shore, and in southwest Scotland, there is a similar setting, and legend has it that giants were building a land bridge between the 2 islands. So that is why it's called Giant's Causeway. And I've had the good fortune of visiting this area. It's wonderful. It's just spectacular. So hopefully you'll have the opportunity to visit it at some point. This is beautiful Adair Manor. It's an award-winning 5-star hotel and golf resort in Limerick. And they just had a $10 million renovation back in 2017. This is beautiful Fanad Head Lighthouse, and this is one of 12, they call it great lighthouses. There's a total of 70 lighthouses in Ireland, but the difference between just a regular lighthouse and these 12 great lighthouses is that there's accommodations. It's kind of like a bed and breakfast. And so Fanad is located in Northern Ireland as well on the northern shore. And it's rated one of the most beautiful settings in all of the world. So it's rated in the top 10 as far as lighthouse settings. This is St. Patrick's Cathedral in Dublin. And St. Patrick's Cathedral, it was founded in 1191, and this is the national cathedral of the Church of Ireland. St. Patrick himself is buried at Down Cathedral, so it's not here at St. Patrick's Cathedral. This is a wonderful visit. This is Titanic Belfast, located in Belfast in Northern Ireland. And the nice thing with this, again, I had the opportunity to visit this. You could spend easily 4 hours at Titanic Belfast. Now, it's not a museum, but this is the shipyard as to where the Titanic was built from 1909 until her maiden voyage. And as you can see from the modern architecture, it resembles the bow and the stern of the ship, and it's the same height as the Titanic. It's multi-leveled, and again, it's not a museum, but they have reconstructed like the staterooms, and it's shown up there in the upper left corner. That's the grand staircase that was reconstructed as well. But it's a wonderful opportunity to spend at least 2 to 4 hours easily, and it's really interesting with that. And for those of you that might be interested in Game of Thrones, the Belfast studios where a lot of the setting was for Game of Thrones. You could see it from this location here at Titanic Belfast. It's maybe 150 yards away from Titanic Belfast, where the studios are located. This is Castle Coke, which is in Wales. Now, Wales is the castle capital of the world. There are more castles per square mile than any other country in the world. There are over 600. The castles were built by the English to remind the Welsh people of the English presence and not to defend the Welsh people themselves. So it's basically their own border wall, I guess, if you want to use today's terms. But this is just one of the many castles that you will find in the beautiful small country of Wales. This is Snowdonia National Park, also in Wales. The wonderful thing and the beauty about Wales itself is the southern part of the country, you'll have a lot of the rolling hills. And then the further north you go in the country, you're going to start getting into, again, Snowdonia National Park, where you're going to have all the mountains located there. So there's quite a difference in the topography with such a small country. For Harry Potter fans, that's the Harry Potter train over the Glenfinnan Viaduct. And I know this is hard, I don't know if I should even bother to try to tell a joke without being able to see you, but the joke never works, but I'll try anyway. The photo on the left, there's this unique breed of sheep that are in Scotland, and they're born with plaid colors. And it's just amazing. And whenever I tell that lame joke, I don't get any response. So anyway, I thought I'd try. But with Scotland, you have the bagpipers and the tartan and all that. And to be honest, Scotland is probably my most favorite country of all the countries that we go to. It's just spectacular, but you can't go wrong with any of the countries that CIE visits. This is the beautiful Isle of Skye, and this is one of 790 islands in Scotland. In doing research and trying to find photos to share with everybody, I have yet to find an ugly photo of the Isle of Skye. This is just one of many beautiful settings on that lone island. And of the 790 islands, only 130 of them are inhabited. This is Urquhart Castle, ruined naturally, but you get a great opportunity to visit the visitor center. They do a wonderful presentation, and then you have the time to walk around the grounds and visit this old castle. but it's on the shores of Loch Ness. And I think all of you are familiar with Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. You know, the first sighting of Nessie was back in 565 AD. But what we will do is, after you have time to visit the castle ruins, we will walk you down to the dock, and then you get a nice Loch Ness cruise for anywhere from half hour to an hour, depending on the time frame. And so it's a wonderful way just to enjoy the scenery. You're welcome to go into the bridge and look at the radar, because you know, it's a nice little thing they do for folks that are interested in maybe trying to find Nessie as you cruise along the loch. And we had our sales meeting there a couple of years ago, and you're also invited to have a wee dram. And I think after a couple of wee drams, you know, to this day, I swear I did see her, but that's after a couple. This is a wonderful experience, and this is one of the main reasons people want to go to Scotland. This is the military tattoo, and every August, you're going to have military bands performers from all over the world, and nearly 50 countries participate in this military tattoo. As you can see from the stands, they're not permanent. It's a temporary setup, and they accommodate close to 6,000 spectators. And as you can see in the background, that's the entry into Edinburgh Castle. And with all the performances, it's just, I've yet to do it. I'm hoping to have the opportunity this year to participate, or to watch the tattoo. But at the end of the performances, you'll have the fireworks display, and then you will have a lone bagpiper as he will play Ave Maria to close the ceremony. But this is something that people rave about. And again, this is one of the highlights when you visit Scotland. And again, this is offered every August. Beautiful Lake District in Northwest England. This is Canterbury Cathedral, and this is located in Kent in England. And with Canterbury Cathedral, it was one of the oldest and most famous of the Christian structures. I'm having a hard time talking. In England, it forms part of the World Heritage Site. It was initially founded in 597 AD and completely rebuilt between 1070 and 1077. But then naturally over the years, just being rebuilt and fixed up. But it goes all the way back to 597. Archbishop of Canterbury, this is his cathedral. This is Hampton Court Palace, just outside of London. This was the residence of Henry VIII back in the day. And now we'll venture over into Iceland, and I rave about this island nation. We had our sales meeting there a year ago, October. And in a previous life, I worked on the old island Princess up in Alaska. So I'm dating myself. This is roughly 30 years ago. But I was the port lecturer on the island Princess, and we cruised between Vancouver, British Columbia, and Whittier up in Alaska. So I had 18 weeks in a row of cruising Alaska. So I thought I was glaciered out, in all honesty. But having visited Iceland, I came back. I was so excited to tell my agent partners that if you have clients that have done an Alaska cruise and they really enjoyed it, trust me, they will love Iceland. This is one of the close to 10,000 waterfalls that you're going to find in Iceland. Iceland's about the size of the state of Ohio, but again, close to 10,000 waterfalls. They have close to 300 glaciers, and there are 30 active volcanoes on this island nation. So it's kind of like taking a step back in time. But if you are really into the landscape and scenery, you can't go wrong with Iceland. I was just thoroughly impressed, and I could go back in a heartbeat. And this is Solangefoss waterfall, and this photo was taken behind the waterfall itself with a beautiful sunset, but just one of many spectacular settings that you will experience when traveling to Iceland. This is Black Sand Beach, and you'll notice a similarity with the basalt rock tubes, similar to Giant's Causeway. This is located on the southern shoreline of Iceland. Beautiful lava, black lava rock sand. It's another beautiful setting. And this is Thingvellir National Park. And this is a UNESCO Heritage Site. And as you can see from the opening there, you see a couple walking along that path. It's the site of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates meet. And it's one of the very few places, it might be one of two, where the plates are above the ground. Usually they're located at the bottom of the oceans. But the plates themselves are being pulled apart roughly nearly an inch per year. So it's just slowly separating out, but this is another spectacular setting as well when you visit Iceland. Then we have beautiful Venice. And I really don't have to give you much background on this because Italy, there's so many wonderful settings with Italy itself, but I have yet to visit Venice and I really look forward to my first time going there. And then beautiful Florence. And again, I've only been to Italy one time and it was just spending 6 days in Rome, which I thoroughly loved. You know, I love history, but I look forward to visiting Florence at some point, as well as the beautiful Colosseum in Rome. Now, to go back to our heart with Ireland, you know, roughly 340 miles from North Shore to South Shore and close to 300 miles from east to west. Being as small as it is, there's still some beautiful regions. As you can see, it's broken up with the blue shaded area, and that is known as the Wild Atlantic Way. And this is where you're going to find like the Cliffs of Moher, the Ring of Kerry, Dingle Peninsula. So a lot of rugged coastline with the Wild Atlantic Way. The Hidden Heartlands, kind of in a limeish green color. Kind of an overlooked area, just beautiful, gentle rolling hills. It's very quaint. And then you, on the eastern side of Ireland, you're going to find Ireland's ancient east, which is where Dublin is located as well. And this is where you're going to find a lot of the ancient stories and a lot of heritage sites with the ancient east section or region of Ireland. And then Northern Ireland, and Northern Ireland is finally coming out of the shadows. The past handful of years, they've really done well in promoting this part of the island. And this is where, as shown in previous slides, this is where you're going to find Giant's Causeway, Belfast, where Titanic Belfast is located. So a lot of beautiful scenery in Northern Ireland as well. A photo of some of the locals. And this is one of my own photos, my first trip to Ireland. This is the top sheepdog trainer in the country. And he had 3 of these wonderful border collies that were more than happy to show off what they can do. And it is just amazing what these border collies can do. And they're trained by his whistle. And it's not a dog whistle, so you can hear what he's doing. But these dogs are trained to go left, right, you know, go really low, hide their tail and whatever. But he was able to bring down a pack of sheep. He was able to separate a couple. And it's amazing what these dogs can do. And they are trained as puppies. And so the ones that do really well, naturally, they continue on. And you get some that just don't have the knack. I just think this poor pooch was just cold that day. He just wanted to warm up. But this is one of the highlights. People rave about a sheepdog demonstration or sheepdog trials, as they're called. They might not think much of it before they go, but again, it's a highlight when people return from their trip. Just to show you some of the locals, you know, it's not just the destination itself, but it's the people. You can see in the upper left, you have a young lady at St. Patrick's Day Parade in Dublin. Another sheepdog performance there in the center. A nice couple at the Blue Lagoon in Iceland, the Beefeaters in London. In the lower left, you have a gondola driver in Venice. But I think what's really important, I always remind people, when you have the time, especially when there's 2 nights like in Killarney in Ireland, you know, go to a local pub. There's no smoking indoors, so don't feel, you know, be afraid of the smoke-filled atmosphere. But this is where you get the local music, and it's just the atmosphere is just wonderful. Strike up a conversation with the local, and it really is a lot of fun. So traveling your way. So what we do is majority of what we offer are our guided vacations or the guided tours. Keep in mind, we have 17 for Ireland alone, But these are designed for not just a solo traveler, but for those that are part of a group. We also have small group departures, and this is where we will cap the number of guests on the coach at 26 passengers. These itineraries, they range from anywhere from 5 up to 16 days. And what's nice about it is it's a hassle-free vacation experience. Everything is taken care of for you. Now, what Dusty could do for you as well, he could help you put together a group. These are designed for groups of 10 or more. And we not only do our brochure tours, but we also do custom itineraries as well. So let's say, as an example, you're a member of a church and you might want to do a religious theme itinerary. Our custom group department is very well versed in helping our agent partners put together a wonderful, in this case, as an example, a religious theme itinerary. So please keep that in mind. And when you think about traveling with CIE. And so that is our motor coach portion of what we offer in the portfolio. We also have two other options that you can take a look at. We have what's called our custom private driver. Now, this is designed for less than 10 guests. So for those of you that might not enjoy traveling in a motor coach, this is an option you can take a look at. We use Mercedes-Benz vehicles. And so if there's just one or two people traveling, you would be accommodated in a Mercedes sedan. If it's 3 to 6 individuals, it'll be the minivan. And anything larger than that, up to 9, it'll be the Mercedes Sprinters. And these are exclusive handcrafted chauffeur guided vacations. And like our guided vacations, our tour guides, your driver will be local as well. So if you were doing a private driver in Ireland, your driver will be from Ireland. Now, the third option, and this is becoming more popular, especially with the unfortunate 2020 that we all had to endure. And so people might feel a little more comfortable being a little more social distant from others. This is our self-drive program, and we call it the Independent Adventures. And so we have two choices for you. We have one called Classic Itineraries, and this is where you can select any one of our 17 Ireland itineraries. The self-drive program is only offered in Ireland. We are hoping at some point that we will be able to expand over into Scotland, England, or Wales. But right now, this is only offered in Ireland. So you could select any one of our brochure tours, and you basically just, it's kind of like follow the coach if you wanted to. You don't have to, but you can go at your own pace. You will have a lot of inclusions with it. You will be notified in advance with your documentation what visits are included with the tour price. So hopefully you won't walk into a museum and they'll ask you to pay such and such amount of money. You will know in advance if you have to do that. Now, another nice option, and this is new for this year, if you don't feel comfortable in driving your rental car in Ireland, we will provide a driver guide for you. And so your driver will, again, you can follow any one of our 17 motor coach itineraries. And so just for the carefree, more enjoyable experience of just having someone driving you in your rental car. Now, the other choice is traveler's choice. And this is where you set up your own itinerary. Similar to the custom private driver, you can create your own itinerary. Let's say there's 4 people, 2 couples, and they're all golfers, and they want to do a golf itinerary. We could put that together for you. And as stated on the slide there, you can select all the accommodations, including the hotels or the bed and breakfast. So again, that is the independent self-drive choice. And then you have the classic itineraries, which follows the motor coach itineraries that you'll find in the brochure. Our guides, as mentioned earlier, they're all local. People rave about our guides and drivers. And you'll notice our coaches, they seat, depending on the departure, we have coaches that seat 48 or 53. All of them are equipped with complimentary Wi-Fi. There's also USB chargers and electrical outlets on board, so you don't have to worry about running out of power during the course of the day. The lower right corner, that was our guide on our Scotland sales meeting a few years ago. That's Graham showing off our coach. My first trip to Ireland, that's Tommy there holding his travel companion as he travels around. And then the upper, just above him is one of our local guides. Whenever you're in like Galway, as an example, you'll get these wonderful, gentle walking tours, roughly 45 minutes long, so it's not strenuous, but you'll have someone from that town that will take our guests around, and they really get a nice informative review of the town that they're visiting. Our documents, we're still old school. We do not do the e-documents. Every one of our guests, not couples, but every one of our guests will receive a CIE Tours backpack. You'll also receive a document holder, and these are perfect for the iPads. You get a baggage strap, 2 luggage tags, and what was new a couple years ago, we added 1 set of international adapters. So folks that travel with CIE, you don't have to worry about going out and purchasing an adapter because of the different current that you get with international travel. A rain poncho, and as I like to remind people and tease them, saying it's green for a reason over there. It's not dreadful, but don't think that it's it doesn't rain over there, because it does. But the poncho comes in handy on occasion. But what I like as well is these guide booklets. You really get some great information here before you travel, so you kind of have an idea of what you're going to be experiencing on your trip when you travel with CIE Tours. Here's some more beautiful photos. Just as, boy, I tell you what, the Icelandic language is difficult, so I know I butcher this every time I try. This is Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon. And what's neat about this is, you know, you can see the glacier in the background. It calves off, and eventually these little icebergs, for lack of a better term, will continue to float out. It goes underneath the highway, and then you end up on what's called Diamond Beach, and you have the opportunity to get up close and personal. Some people like to stand on them, whatever, but it's a beautiful setting with this glacier lagoon. And this is Blue Lagoon, and which I think if you're familiar with Iceland, everyone's heard of Blue Lagoon. And with the Blue Lagoon, what's great about this one is that, you know, it's natural, the seawater, and they made this, it's just a beautiful setting. You have dinner. You can't see it in the background. You can see where the showers are on the left side of the photo, but this is a great experience when you do Blue Lagoon. So I'm not going to show you all of our itineraries naturally, but I just wanted to show you a few. This is our Taste of Iceland tour, and we offer this year round. From November until March, we changed the name of it, and it's the Northern Quest, but it's going to be the exact same itinerary. So you can see the Golden Circle, which is what everyone wants to see when they do visit Iceland. You get the Skaftafell Wilderness Area, you get the Blue Lagoon, Thingvellir National Park is shown before, as well as the Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon. Beautiful 6-day tour. So here we go, I'm going to lead you up to one of our Italy tours. This is Trevi Fountain in Rome. The beautiful statue of David. And with statue of David, this is one of my bucket list items. I look forward to visiting Florence. The statue itself is 17 feet high, and it's located in the Galleria dell'Accademia. And this was created by Michelangelo during the years of 1501 to 1504. Highly visited, needless to say. So this is our Italy tour. And with Italy, we technically have 2 tours with this. You know, I mentioned Iceland is the same tour year round. With Italy, we have 2 tours, but they're very similar in the sense that I wanted to show you this one with the additional 3 nights in Sorrento. But you will start 2 nights in Venice, 2 nights in Florence, 2 nights in Rome. So it's a very gentle paced itinerary. That is what we call the Taste of Italy tour. With this tour, with Sorrento, you would continue on for 3 nights, and you'll visit the Isle of Capri. And then on the 9th day, because this is a 10-day tour, the 9th day is a free day. You can do whatever you wish. You can stay in Sorrento or work your way over to the Amalfi Coast. But with both of the tours, you get the Orvieto wine tasting, you get Doge's Palace, you visit David, all the wonderful Roman visits while you're in Rome, visit Pompeii, and again, the Isle of Capri. Here's beautiful Edinburgh Castle. And when you visit Edinburgh, excuse me, with Edinburgh, it's my favorite city. This castle, when you work your way to the top, whenever you visit Edinburgh, you get a city tour, and you always end up having the opportunity to visit the castle. You go to the top and you can see all of the city. Again, a beautiful setting. This is set atop an ancient volcano, believe it or not, but it's quite a setting. This is where the Scottish crown jewels are located. And so, again, Edinburgh, my favorite city, you would enjoy it as well. Then working your way down to London area, wonderful Trafalgar Square. This is in the city of Westminster, established in the early 19th century. And this is our Best of Britain tour. And with this one, you're going to get Windsor Castle, the Tower of London, Stonehenge, Cardiff Castle, the beautiful Lake District again. You touch with, in Scotland, with Edinburgh Castle, as well as an experience with a wonderful Scottish evening. Now here's a little more in-depth information about our private driver program. With the private driver, again, you're going to get more privacy and personalization with the benefits of a guided vacation. Again, as a reminder, these itineraries are custom created, and these are for less than 10 travelers. Again, the drivers are local. We will put every detail for a seamless private driver experience. Now, we offer this in Ireland, Scotland, England, and Wales, and new for this year, which I'm excited about because I love Iceland. We're offering Iceland for a private driver, and Iceland is a perfect destination for a private driver experience. Now, is the experience going to be right for you? Because it's custom, it gives you the opportunity and the ability to go off the beaten path. You can travel at your own pace. It is attractive for the luxury traveler, but don't be intimidated just because it's a quote unquote private driver. Because we're finding out that, yes, a lot of the people that do the private driver experience, they will stay at the 5-star hotels, manor homes, and castles. But because it is more expensive, generally around 35–40% higher with a private driver versus a coach tour. But a lot of people, to help balance that budget a bit better, they are staying at 3- and 4-star hotel properties. And so that helps bring down the cost a bit. So it's not just for the folks that have, lots of money to spend. It's basically for everybody. So it'd be a wonderful opportunity to take a look at. And again, this is going to be perfect for the solo traveler. And then again, our self-drive program, a reminder for Ireland only. You can select from any of the 17 Ireland tours. You can choose the self-drive or with your own driver guide. And with the rental cars, you get the complimentary GPS navigation system along with the collision damage waiver. And all the inclusions are specified. As I pointed out, you won't be surprised if you have to pay anything. You will know in advance what's included and what is not included with your tour when you do a self-drive. Along with a private driver characteristic, the freedom to create your own self-drive route with our traveler's choice. Wide range of select hotels, B&Bs, manor homes, and castles. And it's great for families of all ages. With our guided vacations, the age minimum is 8 years old. But with a self-drive program or even a private driver, families can bring a newborn if they wanted to do so. So it's open for everybody. A few more photos. This is the town of Cove. Even though it's spelled with a B as in boy, it's pronounced Cove, like a V as in Victor. This was the last port of call for the Titanic. And there's a wonderful heritage visitor center in Cove when you have the opportunity on an itinerary that offers it. Very interesting. You'll see some old photographs, and it's a charming town to visit. Wonderful Blarney Castle. Built in 1446. I think everyone's heard about Kiss the Blarney Stone. Legend has it that the stone bestows upon the kisser the gift of eloquence or Blarney. And doing a little research on this, believe it or not, you lean right now in today's world, you lean over backwards and you kiss the stone. But when this first started, they would grab people by the ankles and hang them over the edge. I don't know if I need the gift of gab that much. I don't think I'd take that up, the chance to do that, but that's what they used to do in the old days. This is our Ireland South Day Tripper. This is a new style of travel. It's what we like to call a hub and spoke. I think a lot of people might be turned off when you do a tour that every night you're packing, unpacking, that type of thing. But with the Ireland South Day Tripper, you fly into Dublin, you would transfer to the beautiful town of Adair. And there you're there for 5 straight nights. And so you just unpack once. Each day you go off into and visit a different destination. So one day you go up to the Cliffs of Moher. You have a train experience from Cork to Cove. You'll visit Killarney and Kenmare. You'll visit Dingle Peninsula. And what's nice is no more than 90-minute travel time to all the destinations each day. And then on the 6th day, you travel back to Dublin, and it's just for convenience because on the 7th day, you'll be traveling home from Dublin, or if you wish to extend your stay in Dublin. But this was new last year, but unfortunately because we had to cancel everything, but it was really doing well as far as people wanting to do this style of travel. Then going over to London, you have Big Ben and Parliament. Wonderful Stonehenge. This was built between 3000 BC and 2000 BC. Major attraction. And this is the London Day Tripper. So similar to the one in Ireland, you travel to London, you'll be in London, same hotel for 5 nights. And then again, each day you go off to a different destination. With this one, you get the Roman baths. You'll go up to Stratford upon Avon to visit Shakespeare's birthplace, visit Canterbury Cathedral, Queen's Residence, Windsor Castle, and then Stonehenge as well. These are the beautiful Cliffs of Moher along the Atlantic coastline or the western side of the island. The Cliffs of Moher, the highest point of the Cliffs of Moher is roughly 9 miles long, but they're close to 700 feet high at its highest point. Dingle Peninsula, one of the 5 fingers that they're called. When you look at a map of Ireland in the southwest portion, you'll see, and they're called the 5 fingers, and the 2 most recognizable ones here in the States is going to be the Ring of Kerry or the Dingle Peninsula. And it's like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. They're both beautiful and they both offer remarkable experiences when you have the chance to go there. Then going up to Scotland, living in Phoenix, the author, for those Outlander fans, the author of Outlander, she lives in Scottsdale. And I had the good fortune of meeting Diana Gabaldon a couple times, but I think the popularity of Outlander has contributed to the popularity of wanting to visit Scotland. It's kind of like what Lord of the Rings did with New Zealand some years ago. But with Scotland, very dramatic scenery, and Outlander has really contributed to the interest level. And for those Outlander fans, if you're familiar with Men in Kilts, that's a new one on Stars as well. And that's really a good one. That's where you're going to get Sam Hagen and Graham McTavish, 2 of the stars of Outlander, trekking around the country of Scotland. Beautiful Eilean Donan Castle, an iconic site. This was founded in the 13th century, and this was the stronghold of the clans Mackenzie, along with Clan McCrae. Being a golfer, this is beautiful St. Andrews and the famous footbridge on the 18th fairway in beautiful St. Andrews. And this is Carnarvon Castle. To go back again, Wales is the castle capital of the world. And this is really a beautiful experience just to walk the grounds of Carnarvon. Carnarvon dates back to 1283. And so it's still in pretty good shape. And it's also a UNESCO heritage site. That's me standing in front of a train station in Wales. And I'm not even about to try to pronounce it. This town is 55 letters long, but when you look at the beginning of this long word, you see the double L, A-N, fair P, and then you'll see a G in there. That's the nickname. So everyone calls it Landfire PG, but I've heard people pronounce it and it takes them like 15 seconds to do so. But I just had to have a photo taken of that. And then right next to it is this market, and you can see the English translation. And my gosh, that's something in itself there too. So for those that are that live there, or you have friends or relatives and you send a letter, good luck putting that all that on an envelope. Then you have the beautiful White Cliffs of Dover. The highest cliffs are roughly 300 feet high. And then you have beautiful Bath in England. And with Bath, I mean, it was the temple was constructed way back in 60 to 70 AD. And the bathing complex that, as you see, that was built up over the next 300 years. And this is now a World Heritage Site. So it's a great experience to visit Bath as well. So if you do have an interest, if there's enough of you to create a group, again, minimum of 10, you can do a shared group where your group would share the coach with others. You can do your own private group, or you can do a private custom group. And again, the custom group is it's an itinerary that's put together with your interests, your desired pace and budget. Now, this is our our current promotion. We are offering a 10% discount on all of our 2021 guided vacations. This promotion goes until March 31st. One of the nice things along with the discount is that we only require $99 deposit instead of the normal $250. Now, we are going to offer the same discount for next year. So in 2022, we are offering currently 10% discount, but the deposit will be $250, which is the normal deposit policy. That's the only difference. So you do have the opportunity to enjoy a 10% discount through the remainder of this year and into 2022. And for those of you that have traveled with us in the past, we have a great past guest credit. So if you have traveled with us in the past, you do have the opportunity to apply your $150 guest credit to any of the new bookings moving forward. And then we get a lot of questions about what we are doing as a company with as we start up again. It's very important that the coaches will be sanitized often. We get questions about the airflow. It's fresh air from the outside of the vehicle. We will be offering more scheduled stops, which will offer more frequent hand washing. The hotel guest rooms are just as important. They are going to be disinfected thoroughly between stays, and especially the common areas like the lobby, the restaurant, and the lounge area. But the bottom line, comfort and safety, that is our priority for our guests as you experience traveling with CIE Tours. So I thank you. Again, appreciate the time. There's Dusty's contact information if you don't have it already. And again, I really appreciate the time to share what we are as a company and the destinations that we go to. And, here's keeping our fingers crossed, knocking on wood, that we're able to get back at it shortly, because I think there's going to be a lot of pent up frustration. It's going to be like a jailbreak. People are going to be ready to travel as we move forward. So again, thank you, everybody.
Okay, I'm going to come back on for just a minute and see if anybody has any questions they'd like to ask. I had lots of great comments about the amazing pictures and just how beautiful everything is.
Thank you.
Yeah, we had a question about the cost of tours, but I guess it really would kind of depend on the actual tour as to define what, to explain what kind of costs.
Right. Dusty, yeah. It depends on the length of the tour, but on average, I guess a ballpark to go with would be like, it could range anywhere from $180 per person per day up to $250. It just depends on the hotel accommodations that your clients would be staying at. But keep in mind that includes everything.
Yeah, I think what I was looking at was like I grabbed the brochure and Taste of Ireland, for example. You've got a 5-day 4-night, 8 meals included, and it's $11.60. It starts at $11.65 per person, which is, that's a great price for Europe for
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It includes 8 meals, so that it's a a nice itinerary, nice introduction to all of that. So that, that kind of gives you the idea of how the pricing is on all of that. But yeah, it's really, really great. I think one thing I love about is the whole idea of the self-drive thing. If you're really adventurous and stuff, I think that's something very unique that CIE offers, because I don't know anybody else that offers a self-drive thing. I mean, basically, you're doing that, you're renting your own car, doing that, but to help, plan the whole itinerary and do all that kind of stuff is really, really cool.
Well, we have, speaking of the self-drive, we have tweaked the program because we realize, when we start traveling again, I mentioned this briefly during the presentation, that people might want to avoid the motor coach style. They might want to be on their own a little bit more separated. And so up until this year, we only offered a handful of those Ireland itineraries for people to follow, but now we're offering all of them. And we're even, to help put them at ease, we're even offering, and it's new for this year, we'll even supply the driver guide with the rental car.
Wow.
So, but yeah, and the private driver as well. So, with the bookings that we're getting a number of them that are people that are wanting to do this. So, we'll just see how it plays out. But yeah, for years upon years, the guided vacation, that was, as I said earlier, the bread and butter. But we realized today's traveler, a little more independent thinker, want a little bit more freedom. So that's why we continue to tweak our programs best we can.
Okay. Anybody else have a question?
The one thing while I'm thinking of it, as far as the pricing, I get a lot of your single supplement. For those that might be familiar with cruising, the cruise lines offer a set single supplement rate. With touring, it depends on the tour itself. And when you have the chance to look at a brochure, go on the website and look at the e-brochure, it depends on the tour, because the hotels that we use during the course of that itinerary, that's the price that they charge us, and in turn we pass it on. So it just depends on the itinerary with the single supplement. There is no set percentage or set rate with the single supplement rate.
Okay, yeah, that's great to know. That's great to know. What else? Anyone? I just see those pictures of Florence and some of these places I've been. It's just killing me. I'm just like, why can't we be there right now? Oh man, I just miss those experiences and seeing those things. Yeah, Summer says same.
No, I think, picture says 1,000 words, and that's why I like showing those full photos, because I think it really gets people, gosh, I would really like to visit that, like the Statue of David, which is something I look forward to seeing at some point. It's just those iconic sites and the dramatic scenery that you get. And again, I can't rave enough about Iceland. I don't know if you have any clients that have cruised Alaska, loved it, but Iceland was really a highlight.
Yeah, I've had clients to Alaska. I haven't had anybody to Iceland yet, and that's on my bucket list. I mean, that's one place I'm really anxious to get to.
Yeah,
so we might have to check into that and see if we can take some of our Alaska folk with us.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's my sales pitch. Good. Okay.
Yeah. Well, anybody else? Well, thank you everyone for being here tonight. We really appreciate your time. Hopefully you've been inspired and motivated, encouraged to keep dreaming of travel, and hopefully someday soon it's all going to open up again. So fingers crossed it's coming. Yeah, just a reminder, we've got 4 more weeks of tours and things going on here, our companies coming in and letting you know what's going on with them right now. And Dan, we really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you for the beautiful pictures, the great inspiration, and I'm dying now.
Yeah, my pleasure, Dusty. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to talk with your folks, and I wish everyone a good evening, and here's to traveling again soon.
Here's to it. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night.